The Talking Guy is 152. This is 150. Nope, 152.
Oh,
We're
no,
not there yet.
no.
52. This is the 52nd episode. So if you were to watch each episode once a week, it would take an entire year to
Each
watch.
episode once a week. That's watching 52 episodes in a week. That's a lot of episodes.
That's actually true what you said there.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
mean watching one singular
One episode each week. There we
once
go.
every
Yeah.
week.
One episode a week.
But if you
Someday we'll
watched
have
each episode,
365, and then you can watch an episode a day.
you watched each episode a week, though, you could memorize the content. You know,
Not only that, but you
Win
help
trivia.
And our
our view counts.
I'm more worried about the bar trivia they have on us. I want to make sure people are ready for it.
little
Oh, yeah?
new motto can be one episode a day keeps the depression away. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
so Talking Guys trivia. Who won the sandwich off?
I did.
I did.
Yep. Mine
Let
was
us know in the
Buffalo
comments
Best.
below who you think won that.
It was me. I already told them.
No, that question
it
wasn't for
definitely
us. That was for the.
It was definitely
Oh.
someone who's not pixelated. So
It definitely wasn't Will. His was the lamest. I just remember that. I can't
No.
remember if it was me or Seth.
No, but for those that have stuck with us this long, y'all know who the winner was. So go ahead and leave us a comment below, letting us know who the actual winner of that contest was.
it was me.
It's me.
Sure, it was.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was me.
Well, the best thing goes with the sandwiches or chips, right?
No. But
Yeah. So I'm gonna segue
thanks
that
for
into the other topic.
inputting that in there, but that's definitely not true. So
No, it's a segue into our first topic
Oh,
conversation
okay.
tonight, Patrick. Yeah.
Well-
Microchips. It's got the word chip in it, but the semiconductor chip shortage. You guys heard about that?
no. I actually hadn't heard of that.
You really haven't?
Doritos ran
No,
out of chips.
I bought my graphics card like 5 years ago, but it was so good at the time that it's still good. So I haven't really worried about chips.
Well, it's not. It's affecting more than just computers. It's also hitting the auto industry pretty hard right now. You heard about that? No.
No, I don't buy new vehicles, so I'm not worried.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get most of the the semiconductor chips are from Taiwan. That's where most of them are made. And currently, right now, they actually have a water shortage. They didn't have any typhoons last year, which I guess is a big thing for them. Also, the rainfall that was predicted for the first 3 months was usually it's roughly half of what the usual amount of rainfall is, and they use the water to produce, or I guess help produce the semiconductors for their plants. So right now they've got a shortage, along with COVID last year. A lot of businesses didn't stock up, and other businesses that were producing microchips and the semiconductors got shut down because of COVID. And so right now it's causing a delay. And they've even said that the South China Morning Post has reported that they believe this semiconductor chip shortage will go through 2022. But right now it's affecting vehicles and a lot of plants, Chevrolet, Hyundai, Ford. They're closing their plants for a couple of weeks. And they said that there's an estimation that they will make somewhere between 1.5 to 5 million fewer vehicles this year because of it. Not one particular brand, but across the board.
Man, that's a lot of money.
That'll save the
Yeah.
environment.
And a lot of labor not being used.
They've even said that Volkswagen's down 100,000 vehicles currently from their their estimation, or their projections rather, on what they're making each year so far.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the doom and gloom person, and you're being pretty positive, but so far with everything you've said, so I'll just add, a little bit of doom and gloom. Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Yeah, but it's also affecting.
You can't take every few weeks off or every month off or slow production down like that and not see long term side
You're
effects that are
wrong. You can
devastating.
because stimulus checks. So it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
just keep
It's
printing
been
money and putting it into the
fixed.
economy. It's gonna be fine, right?
Yeah, but it's also affecting more than just the auto industry because I know a lot of cell phone, like smartphone producers, Apple, Samsung, Huawei. They're also noticing the chip shortage as well. So that's
So
actually
sorry, it wasn't that important, but I'm just really worried. Are you telling me that I can't get a newer version of my new phone? Like,
yes,
because I always get the newest version. So, like, I just sell my old phone, even though I just bought it, get the new one. So they're
yes, because
not
I,
gonna
I
let
know
me do that.
you own the Note 20 Ultra, correct?
Yeah, and I was gonna get the Note 21 Ultra X as soon as it came out. As soon as it came out.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to be waiting a little bit longer for
No.
that. Samsung doesn't have plans this year to release a Note line, and I think it's due to the chip shortage. And I don't know it's also uh, right now people are speculating that Apple might release fewer models. So I know this last year they released what, 4?
Maybe this will be good for the phone industry. For once, they'll focus on a few phones, stop wasting product making new phones that we don't need, and put a little bit of more gap in between each new phone, like they do with consoles. So this could be
So what you're
great.
saying is don't do the Call of Duty formula where it's basically the same game each year.
That I mean, that is literally what phones are. Yeah, the same phone each year, just like progressively, just a little bit better.
Yeah, I think what was it when the iPhone 10 come out? Was it
I don't
3
know.
years ago? 4 years ago? 2 years ago? See, they're on the I guess it'd be
Oh,
3 years.
What is it at now? Like iPhone 13?
No, that's the next one that's supposed to come out this year.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, but no, innovation-wise, I think they kinda stopped once they got there. And they're also the reason that smartphones now cost over a grand
Yeah, it's crazy.
because
They're
Apple did it first. So
I can't see Patrick. Okay.
dude, my stupid camera, man. I think it put autofocus back on. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Because you blend into your wall so well.
No, that's actually kind of crazy that you say that. My skin literally looks like the wall.
yeah,
It's because I spend so much
If
time
you were to
inside
shave your head
that
bald, you wouldn't know where you were.
I've started to morph into the
Chameleon
wall. You
skills.
see that? My head is separated from my body now. You can call me headless Patrick.
no, that's not gonna stick.
No? Damn, dude. Well, that's lame. Um, I read an article this week about somebody that got in trouble for bringing their daughter to work. Yeah, somebody said that I guess he washes stuff like cars. Um, he'll go to their house and wash like RVs or whatever, and he went to this person's house because I guess his wife died and he can't, afford to always use health care. I mean, child care. So sometimes he'll take the kid, like after they get out of school, he'll take them with him to do like jobs, and she'll like play or help him or pass out business cards around the neighborhood or whatever, or some to people that are driving by, etc. Anyways, somebody got mad at him and told him that she didn't want him to wash her RV if the kid was there, and that he was a bad dad for having his kid at work. What do you guys think? Do you think that's like
I think that's not the
What
kind of job
happened?
that it matters. Like, you're washing something in someone's driveway. I don't think it matters if you bring your kid with you.
yeah,
This
he's
is your
not like
conclusion to the
having the
story, though,
kid
Patrick.
he's not
Kid's not
having
in
the kid
danger
work.
or anything like that.
He was just taking the kid with him and like bringing toys with him in the truck, and the kid could play with the toys, etc. But I guess she's
Is
been acting out and stuff because of the mom dying, and so she's not always the what do you call it, the best behaved. So he's been bringing her with him so that she stays with him instead of at a daycare where she's causing problems, etc. So it was a sad, sad story, really.
there a conclusion to it other than the customer got upset?
Yeah, customer got upset. I guess he put it on his Facebook, and business is booming now because people are like, "This is petty. You're more than it's a more than okay to bring your kid to wash stuff or to
So
watch you wash stuff."
now would it be argued that because of the popularity that they feel sorry for him with his child, that
He's using her
yeah.
for benefit of his
Hmm.
business. Yeah, maybe.
No, I don't think he's used for benefit. She's just a benefit. There's a difference.
Yeah, no.
As an angry person, he did what we as humans, for some stupid reason, do, and we posted it on Facebook. Like, just got traction. Like,
Let's see.
happened.
I'll give you. She said, she came outside. She looked at me like I was crazy and said, "Will your daughter be with you the whole time?" And when he told her that she would be, the client snapped. This sounds like a Karen, like a serious Karen.
No, this
Well,
sounds like the ex-girlfriend of that brother-in-law from last week.
yeah. Well, you don't need to come back here. A man needs to work, and you need to learn that, she said and waved him away.
That's kind of sexist.
Yeah. And he said, "It's not my fault my kids lost their mother. It's not my fault my youngest took it pretty hard and acts out too much to be in a daycare consistently, but I do my best every day to provide for my children."
Oh,
I know that was a random tangent off of what we were talking about, but just thought it was interesting. I was like, "The hell, man? What is wrong with people, dude?" I feel like you
and
should be happy that the kid's out doing something instead of just like at home zombied out watching
Yeah, I
Netflix or
years
on
ago
social media.
I'd worked at a Dollar General, and I would not uh, wish that upon my worst enemies to work there. So that's not a recommendation to anyone out there looking for a job. Uh, do not work at that company. But I digress. As a supervisor and eventual assistant manager at the store, one of our responsibilities was to check in the truck. And with the store being a smaller convenience store, you'd receive truck once a week. The process of receiving a truck is they'd show up in the back. You would get notified they were there because they'd usually come inside the store, let you know that they're there. You then go to the back. You, as the associate, remove the tag because there is a tamper-proof seal that's on the truck, and that seal is usually placed on there either by the previous store's supervisor or manager when that truck leaves because they make various stops, right? They have a route that they take. Or B, if it's like the first shipment of the day, it would either be placed on there at the warehouse that they were um, driving from.
Okay.
Anyways, you would check in the truck, and you had this little hand scanner, and it would actually, when you checked them in, then it would actually log how long that they had taken to offload the vehicle. Well, this one time, I actually had this guy, and inside the cabin was his daughter and his girlfriend. So they were making stops with him. And the daughter would stay inside the truck, and the girlfriend would actually help him offload the truck. Legally, I have no idea if this was allowed, but what am I supposed to do about that, right? But yeah, I
Uh-huh.
thought that was it. I thought that was kind of interesting
You're like,
because
free
yeah,
labor.
so I had gone
What a
I'd
nice
gone
girlfriend. Damn.
right, exactly,
For
exactly.
reals.
So after the truck gets offloaded, you then retag it, with a new seal, like a tamper proof. It was usually like a metal seal that almost like a zip tie, kind of like picture is like a metal zip tie, and you would reseal it after you inspected to make sure all of your store's freight was offloaded. And I'm out there talking with the guy he's finishing up, and I reseal the thing, and his kid pops out of the car, like, "Oh, okay." I had no idea, you know. She's saying, "Daddy, daddy, you come back inside. I'm bored." He's like, "Yeah, I'll be right there." So yeah, kids. I don't know. Maybe it was bring your daughter to work day or something for a truck driver.
Was
Dude, today, speaking of kids, today at work, right? I mean, this is literally like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Like, there's like nobody in the store because it's on Sunday, right? And it's really early. Nobody's ever out that early. Well, this couple and their kid came in. I swear to God, did I? I said, man, I wish I had the energy of that kid. And he was literally the entire time they were making their coffee, getting their food, all that. This kid is like running through the store, just like, "Roo!" He just kept making "Roo!" and he'd run from one side of the store and go "Roo!" and run to the other one. 10 minutes straight. Didn't even break a sweat, nothing. I was like, man, if I had that energy, imagine what I could get done in a day. My gosh. It was crazy. Like, and like he wasn't really doing any, like he was literally just running, not like grabbing stuff, not causing a scene. He was just running back and forth, just making like this weird noise. I'm pretty sure he was pretending to be like a airplane or a vehicle. I'm not sure. But I just was like, my God, like this kid just has like insane amounts of energy. He has to crash or something, right? At some point.
always do.
Because
Make you right back
I
up.
don't think I it just made me tired looking at him, and I understood why the parents were buying coffee. Because I don't think they can keep up with him.
So if
It
you were a
was
supervillain
yeah,
and you've got this evil schemes, right? Because that's the whole thing about being a supervillain. Well, most
yeah,
of them, right?
mhm.
You've got some that are
My genius plan to
thrown
dominate the world.
into the
Yes.
position they are, and you feel sympathetic for them. But a lot of the classic bad guy villain is they want world domination, right?
Yeah, like
It's always
Lex
about
Luthor. Yeah.
for the most part, not entirely true, but that's a different story for another time.
You're such a nerd.
Uh,
Okay.
if
Uh,
if you were a supervillain and you were
uh-huh.
scheming and you had
Yeah.
this device that you created and you would kidnap children with a bunch of energy, right? Because that most children have energy,
Uh-huh.
and it would siphon their energy into you.
Yeah.
Is that something you'd do?
That actually sounds like quite brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. Imagine the power you could harness by in what are you like imprisoning them, I guess? I mean, we
Well,
could make it
you're pretty much
or
taking their life force, right?
is it like Sleeping Beauty where you like put them in a capsule and it just like they're asleep for forever and you're just taking their energy? What is it? I actually read a
Yes.
book. This is oddly enough. I just finished a book series where they had these devices that basically sucked the magical power out of people by entrapping them in it, and then it would like pinprick them with millions of needles. So it basically is constantly causing them damage, and their magical properties heal the people, right? So it would just constantly be like using their magic, and then it would suck the magic away so they could never heal. So it would constantly be using their healing powers to, and they would put, they had like very strong people that they basically like entrapped in them. Either willingly they went in or not. It was, but that sounds a lot like that device right there, except it was adults that they were doing this to. But um yeah, I think it's a good idea. That should be a supervillain. Something.
Yeah,
Just I
and
feel like
maybe
just
even
entrapping people in general. You just like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
and
Adults.
if it's you are rejuvenated, right?
Hmm.
Are you living forever now?
Yeah, the girl who's part of it like has like basically infinite power because she has like thousands of people that are fueling her. So at their expense, but it doesn't matter. But not all of them are trapped in it. But I feel like if that's what you had to do, man, I don't know. Compared to other supervillain plots, it seems feasible. I feel like somebody
Yeah,
would
so but like
probably
on a
do that.
scale, Seth, on a scale of 1 to 10, on the villainy scale, where's that sit at?
Pretty high.
Villainy. If
Pretty
you're
high.
taking children,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna put
feel
that
like it's
at a
pretty
10.
high.
Like even in all the like, I don't know all of the like super villains and stuff, but they always just mess with adults because even they have a code of conduct.
What
So
about the boogeyman?
not a villain, a mythical creature to keep kids in their beds.
Yeah. So you're basically like the boogeyman
What about
incarnate.
Jason
No,
Voorhees, right?
you're a part of the elite. Kidnapping kids.
Dude, I feel like that would be a really like creepy movie to make. Like some sort of like crazy horror movie and like, some
Maybe
detective.
it's not even like one person, like it's a group of like elites, like Seth just said, right? And their whole thing is they want to live forever, and so they kidnap children and teenagers, and basically are absorbing all of their life force or energy from them, leaving
Yeah.
the child or the teenager to be basically just a husk, a body that is just no longer usable. Period.
I've seen that before. I don't remember what it was on. It might have been
Dude.
Supernatural, but it was just, yeah, they would suck life force. Keep going.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
like
how
some
they live
detective,
forever.
like a nice, like nitty-gritty dark series and like kids go missing and this detective starts
I don't know why
searching
you guys are
into
so
it.
like focused on it being kids.
And
Yeah,
it
no one will
because
ever
that
buy
makes
this
it more
idea.
scary. I think
No one will
I
ever
think
buy
it
this idea.
I think it terrifies people more if it's innocent. The
Yeah, I
innocence
mean,
is
you
being
watched
taken
it,
from
right?
somebody, right?
Hmm?
You read the
Yeah.
book or watched it. He targeted children.
Yeah. Yep. So it's like, and they're just like disappearing and this person goes on this mad like discovery and like ends up unraveling this entire crazy thing.
But wait, isn't that how Pennywise, didn't he like kill
Yeah,
children and
basically.
then yeah, like wasn't he basically doing the same thing, right?
Like it like basically
I don't
rejuvenated him
know.
and like gave him
Yeah,
like
exactly.
infinite life was he would consume children. Um and he chose children uh because of like, their vast potential of energy.
So basically, we're gonna now get sued by
And he
Stephen King.
also
I
if I
won't.
remember
I'm not in
correctly,
on
he
this.
he also like it had something to do with their flesh too and like something about young flesh is like better so like yeah.
You ever had veal?
uh I don't know actually.
Me
Probably.
either,
I
because
don't know.
that is a horrible thing to do.
Yeah. That was a good book though, and that was a creepy book. See what I'm saying? We're
But
on
he
to
also
something here.
fed on their fear, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the complete opposite of anything that you want to do in real life, as killing an animal that is fully adrenaline. The meat tastes disgusting.
Really?
Hmm.
X.
Wait, so like how does hunting work then?
You kill them before they know.
Yeah, but
If
like
they know, then
half
you're
the
bad.
time deer like you shoot them and they'll run for like a mile. Like I've heard of this many times where you have to follow their blood trail to
That
find them.
sounds to me like you need to learn how to
You would
aim.
think they would have high adrenaline rates running from you for that
Hmm.
entire time. So it's better to
But it
like
actually
one
does.
tap them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for a
The,
couple of
the,
reasons.
and the people
Obviously, the
telling these
primary
stories
reason
need to
is
get aimed.
the it's more humanitarian, right? You immediately just they're done. They're not suffering.
Okay, how can you be just real quick point here? How can we be humanitarian to something that isn't human? I'm
Has got to be
just a
in
quick
heart.
question, like just a little sidetrack, a
So
little
what you're
little
telling me is,
rabbit
Pat,
trail. Yeah.
you like following animals and then watching them die slow, painful deaths, right?
No, I just feel like maybe that's not the right. I feel like kind and kind-hearted or something. I don't know if being humane. I don't know. Maybe that is.
Yeah, it's you want to make them suffer as little as possible, right? Which is why they say, you want to take him out on the first shot, which doesn't always happen. The second reason
And does
is
it?
because not always. I mean, I guess it
Okay,
really
so humane
depends.
does mean having or showing compassion or benevolence,
They have
Yeah,
intended to
humane
have a
animal shelters.
civilizing or refining effect on people. But that's
yeah.
the second more formal. So the first one, I
And
guess
the
that makes
second
sense.
reason is because it does cause the meat to
But
taste.
okay, you're killing something. I feel like it's kind of like for your benefit. You're not really ever going to be truly compassionate and kind to something that you're killing. Like
Yeah,
you
you can
still
be.
killed it. You still terrified it and ended its life.
I'm
Yeah,
still
but at
annoyed
the
at the
end of the
terrified
day,
part. Like, you guys need to get better at hunting.
yeah,
But
at the end of the day, Patrick, I mean, when it
Hmm.
comes to the food chain, humans are at the top, right? And so
Okay.
you eat hamburgers,
things in the ocean are at the
you
top.
eat steak, you eat ham.
Yeah.
All of these, you eat eggs. I mean, one could
Hmm.
argue eggs are just little chickens, right?
But
Nah, they're
I
not
don't
they're
believe
not formed yet.
in I don't believe in like that. I'm being humane by doing that. It's just part of life.
He's not involved in the killing, so it
It's
doesn't.
no. It's called natural selection. So,
Yeah, and
things die.
if
And
you
if you
live
happen to
maybe
be
by
at the top,
yourself,
you're the one that's incurring the most amount of wrath down below you.
Pat, okay, you live
Huh.
maybe with just you and your daughter. Let's just say you don't have a
Okay.
daughter that you're aware of, but let's just say it's you and your daughter, right? Just the two of you
Hell
guys.
yeah. What's her
You
name?
live, doesn't matter. You live in a
How old
cabin.
is
You've
she?
got to name her. She needs a name.
Name, age. I need that at least so I can like kind of know where we're falling here.
We need him invested in this story. A no
Yeah,
name person is
invested
just
in the child. Okay. Continue, please.
Okay, you have a daughter. Her name is Elizabeth. She's
Uh-huh.
13
Okay.
years old.
should we call
Okay.
her
All
Liz?
right.
There we go. Is that
Liz,
enough
I
backstory?
like
Okay.
Liz,
All
13
right,
years
there you
old.
go.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
invested now.
Yeah, she's 12, she's 13,
I
somewhere
love
around that
her.
age, right?
She's so awesome. I love Liz.
Cool.
She's the
Yeah.
best.
So
Lizzie Poo.
it's just the two of you guys. You live in a cabin and
Okay.
you are secluded from society enough to where you
Sounds like
do
a good life.
um most of your meals come from hunting, whether it's fishing, whether it's, deer.
Okay, so what time period is this? Is this like, modern age, or are we like way back in the
Oh,
day or
no, this
something?
is modern age.
Oh, okay. Wow. This is a weird circumstance, but okay.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
do this. They live a
But
real life.
if it comes down to your daughter starving to death or she eats venison that night,
Yeah,
you're going to take out the deer, right?
right. It's a
Exactly.
necessity. You have to do it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm
And
not
so
being
you want to
humane in it.
no, you are humane if you try to make them suffer as little as possible. Because if it comes down to either that wild animal or your daughter, which are you choosing?
Obviously, my wonderful daughter. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And so you want to go about it as humanely as possible, and you want the animal to suffer as little as possible. And so you don't want it to run around injured while you try to track it down and it's bleeding out everywhere and it's in pain.
But sometimes human error, it is what it
So
is.
okay, a new scenario, you are being hunted.
Uh-huh.
There is a man hunter and he
Okay.
is
Is Liz being
he's
hunted too?
And is
he is
Liz
he's
with me hunting? Are we being hunted together, or is Liz like safe and I'm just being hunted?
oh no, he's already killed her.
What?
Yeah, he is man hunting you.
We need a
Okay.
moment of silence.
Yeah. And
Shut
secondly,
up. We need a man.
That moment of silence wasn't
He's like, this is my daughter and I love her, but I will not stop talking. Wow.
okay, now Taken is about to happen because I'm not getting hunted. He is getting hunted.
Patrick.
At that point, you killed my daughter. You're dying, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. Continue.
He is hunting you down.
So I'm hunting him. Yes. Continue.
He is
Uh huh.
he is
Uh
hunting
huh.
you down.
Okay.
You either A, scenario A, he shoots you and you die immediately,
Uh
or
huh.
scenario B, he shoots you, and you slowly bleed out over the next 20 minutes, and you're in agony until you die. Which would you prefer?
The 20 minutes, because I can see my whole life flash before my eyes,
Jesus Christ.
come to grips with the fact that I'm dying.
No.
Maybe even even better would be that like he tortures me, like, and is like, "You suck! I did this!" And you're like, you know what? But I feel like somebody that killed my daughter obviously is not going to be a very nice person, so they're probably going to torture me. And I think it's just because I deserve that suffering and pain for allowing my daughter to die before me, and not giving her a fighting chance. Obviously, I'm a coward, so I deserve what I'm getting. Yeah, that's my final answer. Was that the
Okay.
correct answer?
There is no correct answer, Patrick.
Okay. Wow. This was intense, dude. I did not know I was coming into survival uh 101. We're going down here. This all stemmed off of animals and how I don't think it's humane to kill things. Like you just have to do it. It's part of life. But I gotcha. I'm rest in peace, Liz. She was the best.
Yeah, he'll join you in about 18 and a half minutes.
And she was, just one of a kind. So funny. That's my favorite memory. Just all the laughter I had.
All the deers that you made suffer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All the gamey, disgusting tasting meat because
God,
they were.
you guys sidetracked me so bad. I had something really interesting to add that did not have to do with this whole scenario, but you threw so many scenarios in a row that I lost the first initial train of thought that was going to be interesting. Now I can't remember.
Well, in other news,
Sucks.
we lost
Mhm.
something else. Another big part of machinery.
Okay.
Like the flight, from Malaysia, right? That disappeared.
Yeah.
Now Indonesia has lost a submarine.
What?
So
When did this
there.
happen?
Date. I don't.
We are all over the place
on the
today.
actual date. Yeah, it doesn't say the actual.
It was
date,
the commies.
but they're looking for it because when this was written, they only have about 24 hours left of oxygen. But they also found an unidentified object with high magnetism at a depth of 50 to 100 meters, and so they're hoping that's a submarine. But they're waiting for people to come in and investigate. So
This is why let it be noted on record that I will never
Mhm.
be on a submarine.
I mean,
Okay.
being on a submarine is the exact same as being on an airplane.
No.
Pretty much. You're
Yeah.
in something, and if that something fails, odds are you die.
Yeah.
You're either really high up or you're really low down.
Yeah. Both terrifying. That's why
Yeah,
people
but I
are
feel like I
afraid
have a
of
better
flying.
chance of surviving from a plane.
No, you do not.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
sometimes you can
absolutely
bounce
not.
off the ground and
Do-
you'll be okay.
Do you carry a parachute with you?
No, I
No.
personally I
Okay. Well,
don't, but I
then you are
imagine that they have.
not. You are so not safe in an
So,
airplane.
when was the last time you rode in an airplane? How often do they say parachutes are located here? Nah.
They
They
give you
don't.
floaty
You
inner
get
tubes,
flotation
though?
devices in case they have to land on water.
So my whole goal, if it ever happens, is I'll jump out of the plane and use the floaty device and land headfirst with that, and that'll give me that cushion. Like if I spread it out like this, I might lose my arms, but I'll be fine, right? I should be fine.
Yeah, I'd rather that than being how many what thousands and thousands of feet underwater.
I mean,
And you are pressurized underneath that old water. So
you're
if
also
something were to
pressurized in the
happen,
air.
yes, but I feel like it's a bit different, right? Because if the plane's going down, the plane is designed to stay pressurized for a certain amount of time. I think even if the plane were to have some sort of breach, right? And they even have the masks that fall, right? So at least you've got some sort of way to get oxygen. If something were to happen in a submarine, like a leak somewhere, that thing's filling up,
Well, I
and
mean,
you
they
can't
can.
really escape the submarine to
I
try swimming to
guarantee
safety
they
because
can
if you
section
did, you
off
would just get.
things.
you would get crushed under the weight of all that water. Like a tin can. That's what you are. You were a tin can underneath water, and it would crumple. You'd crumple.
Nice quick death.
No, I feel like that'd be painful.
Really
'Cause I don't.
quick. Like
I don't think it would be quick.
you're under that much pressure. Dead.
But what if you didn't
So
die
okay,
immediately?
okay. So what do you guys think? Did you think a Leviathan came from the Bible? You know, like it talks about it in the Bible, a Leviathan. You think that's what's down there, and it killed him in the sub, and that's why we can't find it?
Oh,
That's the other thing
it's
is
aliens.
that deep underwater scares the crap out of me because you don't
Oh
know
yeah, no, I
what's
mean,
down there.
I'm not a fan of the water in general, like the ocean. So I mean, that's different. But I also see how, if you're in the air, you feel like you're not claustrophobic. If you're underwater, you do. But it's still the same type of thing. You're in a pressurized metal tube, really high up,
Yeah.
really really low down. Either
I,
way,
Yeah, but I
you're
don't
not
know.
gonna
I feel like
survive.
if the plane were crashing, right, there's like a slight chance that it could land somehow, right? And I think I'd rather have that chance than just be stuck underwater and then there is no chance.
I mean, okay. Here's the main thing that I think the difference is normally with a plane, you're only in it for a short amount of time. The thing with submarines is you're in it for a long duration of time. And because of the compact spaces, especially for someone like us, since we're all, above 6 feet tall, over average human height, the entire thing is not made for us. So you're going to feel even more confined and more cramped, and it's going to be
Just,
more
just
annoying.
open a window.
Um, but
Oh
my
yeah, sure.
old boss, that your brother still works for, he actually was in the
Your
Navy, and
brother-in-law.
that's what he did. No, Seth, your brother.
I don't
Um,
have a brother.
our boy Asher, his boss Scott was a Navy submarine guy, and he
He
spent
was a submarine.
multiple
Spicy.
multiple like deployments on a submarine, including
In
at one
in
point
in
a
in a
nuclear
submarine,
submarine.
Patrick.
Yeah,
He might have
You,
been on
you
it at
if
some
you're
point.
on the submarine
in the
and it's
submarine.
submerged,
Okay, fine.
if it's
What?
submerged and you're on the submarine, you're not gonna be on it for long.
Well, the nuclear subs don't ever really come up, so very short durations of time in places where they don't think anybody's looking for them. So
How long can a nuclear sub hold its breath?
a very long time. It's actually disturbing how long they
The
can be
the
under
the
there.
real question is how long can the people on the sub hold their breath?
Yeah, probably a good few minutes before they're dead. So I don't know. But there's a ton of those out there. They're lurking around the world, man. Mm-hmm.
False facts.
And that's why people are still scared of Russia and America, because we have nukes on submarines that are hiding all over the
Don't.
world.
No, we don't.
Yes, we
But
do.
the
No, we
most
don't.
important question is, Pat, can the nuclear submarine hold its breath longer than David Blaine can?
Yes. Although David Blaine is abnormally insane when it comes to that. Um, but he's not insane as you think, because the main way that he held his breath for as long as he did was he took I think he had like, I can't remember, he had pure oxygen or something that he put inside of him, and that makes him be able to last much longer than you're supposed to. And then he has a breathing technique that he uses where he purges the CO2, because you get carbon monoxide, I think it is, poisoning eventually. It starts killing you, um, because as your blood recycles over and over and it's getting less and less oxygen, it starts poisoning your body basically. It's actually insane. I think he held his breath for 17 minutes. So um out of this freaking world. And he's also gone up to 25,000 feet, basically almost the entire way without using oxygen, or for very short durations of time. Like when he did the balloon thing that he just did. If you guys watched that, he floated up in balloons and then popped all the balloons, or basically he didn't really pop the balloons. He released them off of him and then skydived from 20 something thousand feet down. It's pretty dope.
Sounds kind of badass.
Guy's insane. Yeah. He like dude, that dude, oh my god. If you look into all the stuff he's done, like, the pick that he sticks through his body is like actually a pick being stuck through his body. Like, it's
Yeah,
not a magic
it's
trick.
it's a toothpick, right?
Yeah, like it's a very sharp toothpick. And if you do it in the right manner, you can basically slide it through your entire body and it doesn't create blood when you pull it out and doesn't kill you or cause severe internal damage. It's actually insane. But if you poke it just the wrong way and
Like
slide it
through
just
your
the
eye.
wrong place, like through an artery or something, you're dead. And the whole way he got onto that was there was a guy that used to stick swords through the middle of his torso, and they were real swords. He would literally stab himself with a real sword. And people didn't believe it. Like they were like, "This has to be a magic trick. There's no way this guy's doing it." And he did it for so long, and he always survived because he was like so precise. But he kept taking more and more risks that
So what you're
eventually,
saying is he survived. He always survived until he
until he
didn't.
didn't. Yeah, he took so many risks because he wanted to make it even crazier, right? Like he would make up a new act and he would just do it even more insane, put more swords inside of him that eventually one time he finally overdid it and killed himself by
So he
stabbing.
OD'd on swords.
Like he basically committed suicide with swords. Yeah.
Ari Kari.
Not trying to, but like that's what happened. He like murdered himself with a sword in front
Yeah,
of
it's like
people.
it's like a comedian. They have to have
Yeah.
so many new routines they come up with periodically. Otherwise, they get stale and people no longer want
Right. Magicians
to
are the
see
same
something
way.
they've already. Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
why
for
they're so secretive about how they do things, because if you take the mystery away, then people wouldn't care anymore. So they won't tell their secrets because it's more exciting if you don't know how it's done. And I for sure can tell you from Seth telling me and showing me some of the card tricks he's done, it's more exciting when you don't know how he's doing it. Way more
Yeah,
exciting.
well, okay. So for those listening, if you guys donate to our Patreon or Cash App, $1,000, Patrick might consider sticking a sword through his chest.
Hell no.
So
Not in a
if they
million years,
donate
dude.
a
You're
thousand
crazy.
dollars, he might think about it. It's not
Yeah.
even he
Okay,
will think
actually,
about it. He might think about
word.
it.
I very well will think about it. I'll think about it long and hard, and I'm not sure what the answer will be, but for now, I'm not thinking about it. You give me $1,000, I will think about it for
If
sure.
you had
Hmm.
like a professional, right? So David Blaine,
That taught me for a
and
$1,000. Hell no,
no, hold
you
on.
give me some real money for that.
Say he's got his metal pick, right?
Hmm.
And before he does anything to you, they run your test to make sure, you don't have an artery somewhere or an organ somewhere because everyone's different. And
Hopefully, you
so
have
they're,
arteries and organs somewhere.
yes, but everyone's
Yeah,
different. And so they're all mostly in the same spot, but they could vary, very slightly here or there, right? So he has found an area on his body that he can puncture without there being any kind of repercussion. So say
yeah,
they run the test on you and they determine there's a spot on you. And he said, "Okay, Patrick, here's a sword. We're going to stick this through your body. We've done the research, and we're just going to stick this through there. And there's a small chance something could happen because there's a small chance anything could happen at any time, right? So it's not
hmm,
foolproof because that's not something guarantee.
yeah. So we understand there's a lot of risks involved. Where are we
Exactly.
going here? What's the point?
What's the lowest amount of money that you would take for him to do that? Like if he were to pay you, I don't know why he would, but let's just say David Blaine woke up one morning, he's like, damn, you know what? I want to stab someone, but I'm going to pay them first. What's the lowest
Legal
amount of money you
reasons.
would take? No reason at all. What's the lowest amount of money that you would take for that, Pat?
Jesus. Um. Honestly,
Five
it
five
would
dollars?
it would probably be pretty dope. So it's less than like a lot of things, because like to say that you had that happen and like to have video proof and everything and show everybody like, yeah, this dude stabbed me with a sword and I'm still alive and fine and I don't even have a scar, I think would be a pretty cool talking point. So just off of that for the clout, I mean, I
I
probably do it.
imagine there's going to be a scar. I don't think there's a way that there
I
won't
would
be one.
no, no. there wouldn't be a scar.
There
If
has
if
to
it's
be. If
professional.
you
No, no,
No,
no,
even if
no.
it's professionally done.
I'm just telling you, if it can be done with a pick, it could be done with it. I'll do it for 50 grand. 50 freaking grand and notoriety. Because I'm pretty sure you would partially become famous just because of that too.
I think
Yeah,
I'd do it for less than
for
that.
sure. Less than that?
Yeah.
I mean, your life's in somebody's hand. I'm like 50 grand could at least pay off my debts and stuff. Because you ain't getting no life insurance. Nobody's paying out on that one, buddy.
50
So
grand worth of debt.
I mean, I'm just saying you want to be able to you have to at least take a payment that would pay for everything that you still have that you need to pay off, etc., so that you're not leaving stuff for other people to have to take care of. Okay? Because that's just being a considerate human being.
That's the humane thing to do, right?
Yes, that's a humane thing to do.
Yeah. Make
Um,
sure the meat's nice and tasty.
so yeah, for me, 50 grand, because I would be net positive too. I don't have that much debt. But 50 grand, I think that's like a year's worth of pay, a little bit less than a year's worth of pay. That'd be pretty dope. Put that away, little nest egg. You're good to go, man. Why? What would you do it for?
I was thinking like 30.
30 grand to have a
Yeah.
man stab you with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of your mind,
Keep
dude.
saying sword. Is it a sword or his little pick?
No, it's a sword.
No, he
Oh,
said
no one's,
sword.
yeah, no one's stabbing me with a sword.
Yeah,
If he had
like
his
a
little,
pick
if he
through
had
the
his little
arm.
pick, I'd
Okay,
let him
sure,
do
I'll
it.
do it for 10 grand. Pick me through the arm, dude. Worst comes to worst, you know, they nick something and you're bleeding everywhere, but I don't think you would die. I'm pretty sure they would have medical professionals close by and they would at least stop it. You might lose an arm or something, but I don't know. Can't be that bad.
David Blaine, man, I trust him, right? There's a reason he's
Yeah, no,
famous.
that dude's insane. You know, he also does that whole thing where like he'll fast for like 40 days and turn his stomach into literally a place where he can keep live frogs and they'll not die when they go into his stomach, and that's how he does the trick where he regurgitates frogs out of his body, live frogs that are hopping around. It's insane. The dude is actually crazy. Like, go do. I know a lot of people are like, dude, he's not that crazy. I'm like, that dude, he is dedicated to his art. I will say that. Dedicated to his art.
Off maybe.
Yeah. No, yeah. Um, well, you know the whole breathing thing, right? Him holding his breath. Like literally for the amount of time that he held his breath, there's a pretty high risk of him losing brain function whenever
So
he
yeah,
does that.
permanent brain
Like
damage.
huge risk. He had like neuroscientists and stuff trying to figure out a way for him to hold his breath as long as possible without basically like making him go brain dead. And for him to do the trick the way he did it and everything and make the world record that I really don't think anybody, well, at least until they come up with some new technology, for anybody to be able to do what he did again. I mean, he took huge risks, and they were like, "We're going to take you out of the tank" at one point because the amount of whatever that they were tracking in his body was so high that they were like, "Dude, this guy's gonna could seriously die," and he just was like, "Nah, I'm gonna keep pushing," and he pushed for like an extra 2 minutes past what they told him to. Like, actually, like, yeah, definitely crazy. But imagine that's a cool job. Would you want to be David Blaine if you could be David Blaine?
I would.
No.
Dude,
Too
that's gotta be sick. Like
too much risk
imagine doing all
involved.
the no, but imagine the like wonder and like the walking around and just like, you know, you can just blow people's mind with just like card tricks, even just as card tricks. Like it's just insane. Like, you know, you can just make people just be like, there's no way you did that. Like, how did you do that? How did you do it? And you'll never tell them. And that like look that you see from people when you pull off a trick on them, which he does all the time,
Bewilderment.
and yeah, of like complete utter shock and bewilderment, and not to mention like them getting like the heebie-jeebies and being like, "Get away from me, Satan," because I've seen that
Well,
too.
now it's mostly just get away from me because of COVID.
Yeah, that's true. Um,
Nah,
but
they
the
got the
mystique
vaccine
and
now.
everything is pretty dope. I think that would be a very cool life to live.
She's a character in the X-Men universe.
Who is
Mystique.
Mystique? Oh my god, you guys are so. Mystique would be cool too. Whatever.
Yeah, she's part of the Brotherhood of Evil
Shape
Mutants.
shifting, man, I'd be down. Like you could experience life like you've never experienced it before. Being a shapeshifter, I think. You know how everybody's like, well, you don't want to know what it's like to be me. So you're just like, all right, I'm gonna be Will for a day. Let's see how it goes.
But you
And you just walk
you
around being Will.
can't
You're
really
like, you know
be
what? I'm
Will.
gonna be
You
LeBron
can
for the
try
day.
and live his life, but you don't have his thoughts, his feelings, his emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like so
You don't
much of
have what
life
makes
is
Will
based off
Will.
of like first impressions and what people think of you, etc. How you look, how you present yourself. Like you could go be the most impoverished person in the world and look exactly like that person and just experience their life for a day. Like, what would that teach you?
Imagine the destruction
Imagine.
it could
To keep
cause.
your
Oh,
job.
well, yeah, that too. Everybody
You
thinks about it as a power. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, yeah. It's like you
education.
go, you show up as Seth is like, you know what, I'm gonna show up as Patrick tomorrow at work and tell
Dude,
my
that'd be
boss what's up.
so sick. I would be like, I'm gonna be Seth for the day. We walking in there, not saying a word all day, quiet as a cucumber,
Not quite.
cool,
Work.
collected, people
not quiet at
sweating
work.
beads left and right. Like, oh my god, he's here and we have to be well behaved. Like, sick, dude.
I was
I
thinking more
haven't
the
even
fact that you
like
could
I haven't
really
even
just
fired anyone in like a year, so
Yeah,
a lot
no,
of
but
people are
they
afraid of
still
me.
are afraid of you, I feel like. Not in like, oh my god, he's like terrifying, but I feel like I don't know.
Terrifying.
Some people
yeah,
just
but
like,
imagine like you turn yourself into LeBron, right?
yeah.
And you go out and you make some public statement in front of everyone else,
Yeah.
and you completely jeopardize and just ruin your entire career. And it's like, what
But
is
it's
he gonna
not your
say? That
career.
wasn't me. That wasn't me. It's like everyone saw you in person say these
No, it's
things.
definitely
Wait,
not me.
so
I
you're
mean, if
telling
he's
me
got an
that's what
alibi,
happened with Tiger Woods? This whole time it was Mystique
Mhm.
hoeing around, and it
Yeah,
wasn't actually Tiger Woods, and he got thrown under the bus for that.
he should have
yeah.
had an
And actually,
alibi.
what happened was she's the one that caused his car to stop working, so that's why he broke both of his legs.
Wow.
These are
That's actually
facts.
insane.
Talking guys facts. You can if you can without a shadow of a doubt believe everything we're saying as factual. 100% backed up, verified facts.
Yeah. Hey, when we say something every time, like Seth puts a status on Facebook, fact check right underneath.
I mean, in the other room, we have a
Verify.
team of 37 fact checkers,
Mhm.
like feeding us information, like
At all
like,
times. How do you think we came up with all of these weird things that we talk today? We have our fact checkers constantly feeding us with just like the most crazy things so that we're ready and prepared for anything.
But the crazy things are verified though.
Yeah,
very,
verified.
very verified.
Yeah. Except for Liz. My dear
It
Lizzie.
was a scenario, okay? Didn't
Yeah.
actually die.
You know, I'm naming my first kid Liz just because of you guys.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah. I hope my significant other is okay with that. Be like, no, we gotta name him. They're like, why are you so dead stuck on this name, dude? Like, it's not anybody you know. It's not a family member, not a grandma, a mom, nothing. Like, just
Yeah,
listen.
I had a great grandmother named
On the
Elizabeth.
52nd episode, our anniversary, you could say, I was put into a scenario that completely changed my life forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm gonna live with it for
Changed
the rest of my
forever.
life. And I just want to point this out: is why is it always me that gets put in these scenarios? I swear to God, I'm just now starting to catch on to this. But like, you guys always put me in the scenario. Why can't I be like Seth in the scenario or
because
Will?
we know I would win that whole hunting scenario. I would win it. So, and my daughter would still be
No.
alive.
No, you wouldn't.
So,
There is no winning.
Yeah,
Just win.
you did. There was no scenario of you winning. It
Yeah.
was whether you died one way or died another way. Okay.
I don't believe
And
in
obviously,
absolutes.
I'm gonna take the badass way and take the pain instead of being a little. I just want to die automatically. Nobody, no. It's like in the Lone Survivor. You know, those SEALs died, but they died, fighting the entire way till the bitter end. That's respect. You gain a whole nother level of respect um, than just being some dude that just
Were
died.
they SEALs in the Lone Survivor?
Yes.
Eh,
Yeah. Which, yeah, guys, have you read the books? Oh, you just watched the
I don't
movie.
read books.
Right. Word. It was
I don't read books.
actually the most, we're given fun facts of the day, which I garnered from the book, but it was the greatest casualty inducing Navy SEAL event to date with the amount that died because of the helicopter that got blown up. Also, it killed a massive amount of them. And the book is far superior to the movie. The movie did okay, but the book is so much better. I hate when they do that. Like it was so good, and they
You got
kind of
something against
just.
Marky Mark?
It's not Marky Mark. I think he did a good job. I think um they just had to change all these, like, what happened, especially in the fighting part, and like what happened. And like, dude, if you read the encounter and like what happened, I'm like, I don't get why you needed to spruce it up more
I'm
and
just
make
upset how the whole thing started. They made
was
a
yeah.
stupid, shitty
Yeah.
call, and it cost the lives of a
Yep.
lot of people and the operation.
Well, that's when you're trying to be humane with people. That's what happens, Seth.
The dog eat dog world.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can't be humane. You got to do what makes sense. And actually, the most ironic part about I feel bad about this because this isn't really fair. But the dude that survived, right? He was the one who was the swing vote on whether they, got rid of the guy or not. And he swung vote and said, I don't want to. I don't want to get rid of him. We're gonna let him go. And so he killed all of those people by not just saying like, nah, we got to do it because there was four of them, I think.
Yeah.
Five.
Five? Was there five? Five of them, and two of them were like, we got to, and two of them were like, nah, we can't. And he was the one that made the decision of whether they do it or don't. And all the other guys died, and he's the only one who
Someone should
survived.
just stepped up and done.
Yep. It was just crazy. But you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have been down there in the first place. So we could get into it. We'll talk about that. But I think that's for another episode.
Lex Luthor, huh?
Lex Luthor, baby.
Yep.
Actually,
That's
no.
what-
My favorite villain is probably still. I love the Joker
He's the best.
or Two Face. Two Face is pretty cool too. I like the.
What
I
about
like the.
Penguin? God.
I like the ones that are like mentally disturbed, but like still super intelligent. Like obviously they're all like that, but some of them are like. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the arch villains that like have some like master plan of like world domination. Like that's not very interesting to me. The ones that are the most interesting and I feel like the most terrifying villains are the ones that are like unstable. And the reason for them being the way they are is not just because they're like, oh, I just want to have all this power. Like the Joker in the Dark Knight when he burns all that money and he's just like, I just like to watch the world burn. You're like, that's a terrifying man. Please get me away from him.
It's
Like,
also
I would be
terrifying.
scared to be in a room with that dude
The
because you
guy
don't
that
know what he's
kidnaps
going to do and
children
why
and
he's doing
absorbs
it.
their life.
Huh?
I said, what also is terrifying?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. The
Word.
guy that kidnaps the children and
I don't find that terrifying. He wouldn't kidnap me. I'm not afraid at all.
You're
Yeah.
not a child.
I know.
Okay.
I'm not afraid at all. It's not terrifying.
Elizabeth is.
What
or was.
about
Or
Lizzie?
was.
What about Lizzie?
Lizzie was already hunted by somebody. We
I
already
just-
discussed this.
I just want to say that it is actually possible for me to have a 13-year-old child. I'm getting old, dude. It's crazy.
Well, I'm not. So, anyways,
Because he's the one siphoning the energy from children.
Living forever. Thanks for telling the world.
You know, when they said finding the fountain of youth, I think people didn't really realize what that meant. Yeah.
That's the name of the movie and the book, Fountain of Youth.
And the books.
I like
Dude,
that.
I'm telling you, this is a movie idea. If this comes out and somebody takes our idea, you are getting in a lot of trouble because you are stealing our intellectual property. And we just created that idea. Nobody better ever come up with something like that.
Yeah, trademark pending.
Trademark pending. Do you have to
Cool.
trademark it? I don't even know.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh well. That's probably going to be it for us today at the Talking Guys. This is episode 52, not 152.
52.
Yep. So go ahead and watch one episode each week. And I guess we'll see you guys next year then. Or you
Next
can just
year.
watch next week for the 53rd
All right.
episode.
Peace next year.
Later.